Understanding how stress affects our dogs is made easier by the fact that dogs and humans have very similar physiological responses to stress. Dogs primarily communicate using body language, so it's important for us humans to understand what our dogs are trying to tell us. Usually when there's a change in emotion, you'll see a change in behaviour, although it may be very subtle. So the dog sees the trigger changes the dog's internal state, and then the dog's appearance changes. Some of the more common physical indicators of stress or anxiety which you might see in your dogs include pacing or shaking, whining or barking, yawning, drooling and licking. And licking provides a natural calming response for dogs, which can provide us with an indication that the dog is trying to soothe herself. So changes in the ears and eyes. When our dogs are anxious or stressed, the ears are often pinned back against the head or held out to the side. An anxious or stressed dog will also often avoid eye contact with you. Changes in the dog's body posture, such as the shrinking of the body, the tucking of the tail or the lowering of the head, excessive shedding, panting out of context, so when the dog isn't hot or thirsty, changes in bodily functions. Yes, you know what that means. Poo watching can give you good indicators about your dog's emotional well-being and their health. Changes in appetite, as we discussed a moment ago, part of the stress response involves redistributing the blood away from the digestive system to the skeletal muscles in preparation for the fight or flight response, which is why your stressed dog often won't eat, starts picking at their food, or suddenly refuses the treats which she was previously eating. And this gives us another clear flag that our dog may be feeling stressed out by something. Self-directed or self-harming behaviours such as flank sucking, tail chewing, tail chasing, self-nursing, excessive licking, chewing of the feet or nails, scratching or rubbing, and learnt helplessness. Now, some dogs don't react outwardly to a perceived threat, instead manifesting internally, and this is often triggered by a lack of choices. Learnt helplessness can often be referred to as an emotional shutdown. It's easily learned and can be established with just one stressful experience. Punishment, abuse, and even heavy-handed training can lead to this. The dog with learned helplessness believes completely that they are helpless to protect themselves from danger. They've given up and accepted their fate. Note here that if this sounds like your dog, then I would advise seeking an in-person behaviour consultation with a force-free behaviourist or trainer alongside your vet for guidance and support. And it's also very important to note here that many of these behaviours could easily be confused with backslides of training or simple one-off occurrences. If you do notice your dog engaging in behaviours that could be stress-related, first consider your dog's unique personality and situation, as well as your own emotional state. It's important to always speak to your vet if the situation persists or if the behaviour seemingly appeared out of nowhere. These behaviours could signal chronic stress or could be symptoms of other underlying medical problems which threaten your dog's health. Your vet will usually ask for a complete history from you, which includes the behaviours noted, their severity and the duration, the living conditions of your pet, where does he sleep, how often does he exercise, is he inside the house with family members or does he live outside in a kennel, the size of the kennel if he's housed outside, if he's with other dogs, the dietary regime, so the type of food being fed, frequency, duration of the feeding, type of snacks being offered and their frequency and duration of use, the gender of the canine and whether the canine's been neutered or spayed. Ruling out a medical cause for a behaviour should always be your first port of call. The canine ladder of aggression was first developed by animal behaviourist and veterinarian Dr. Kendall Shepard as a helpful tool for dog guardians to help prevent the escalation to aggression and the bite. It shows the behaviours your dog may display when she's feeling stressed or threatened. The lower rungs of the ladder are the first signs dog shows us when they're stressed, like yawning, blinking, nose licking, turning the head away or turning the body away, walking away, and these are often referred to as calming signals. Now, calming signals are very subtle changes in the body of a dog that suggest building stress and are used to diffuse conflict before it happens. A calming signal is basically a polite request to another dog, human or other animal to change their behaviour and therefore prevent any further conflict from occurring. Two of the more common signals people recognise are the licking of the nose and yawning. Other signs that can be calming signals include the turning away, which is avoidance, softening of the eyes, freezing, play bows, sitting down or lying down, sniffing or scratching. As we move up the ladder of aggression, the signs become more obvious, like creeping, the ears going back, standing crouched, and the tail tucking under. The top of the ladder is where the behaviours become more severe, like the body stiffening up, staring, growling, snapping, and finally the bite. I've included a copy of the guide in the section below, so make sure to familiarise yourself with it so that you too can recognise stress signals at their earliest point. Now that you know what you're looking for and you are starting to understand what your dog is telling you, so remember that list of stresses you made? I'd like you to go back to it and with your new skills and knowledge, spend some time observing your dog and see if there's anything else in the environment contributing to your dog's stress which you missed previously. Identifying all the triggers to your dog's stress and anxiety is the first step towards de-stressing your best friend. Once we've identified the triggers, we can move on to prevention and management.